Good morning, friends. Whoa, frog in the throat. Good morning, friends. Welcome. I hope you are doing excellent today. It is West Tennessee Dave, live to you on Twitch, 6:33, and I am glad to be here with you. I'm glad to be here with you now, and I'm glad to be here with you later if you're watching this on a VOD, whether on YouTube or Twitch later. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Asibla. Good to see you, Hiles. Welcome, welcome. All right. What are we going to go into today? We are going to be doing a lot of ground covering in the book of Deuteronomy. We're going to read about 3 chapters, and we're going to skip way towards the end because we have a lot of rules and regulations recap, which we skipped the first time, and we're going to skip again. They're not really stories, so that's where we're at. What are we doing? Moses here. So the children of Israel are on the east side of the Jordan River, and they're about to cross the Jordan River to start conquering the Promised Land and taking it. But they're getting one last final plea from Moses before he passes away. And so this is Moses' final plea. It's still the same day, still the same speech. He's going through it all with them. And here we are. So let's continue and get started again. All right. Here we go. Listen, O Israel, today you are about to cross the Jordan River to take over the land belonging to the nations much greater and much more powerful than you. They live in cities with walls that reach to the sky. The people are strong and tall, descendants of the famous Anakite giants. You've heard the saying, who can stand up to the Anakites? But recognize today that the Lord your God is the one who will cross over ahead of you, like a devouring fire to destroy them. He will subdue them so that you will quickly conquer them and drive them out, just as the Lord has promised. After the Lord your God has done this for you, don't say in your hearts, the Lord has given us this land because we are such good people. No, it is because of the wickedness of the other nations that he is pushing them out of your way. It is not because you are so good or have such integrity that you are about to occupy their land. The Lord your God will drive these nations out ahead of you only because of their wickedness, to fulfill the oath he swore to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You must recognize that the Lord your God is not giving you this good land because you are good, for you are not. You are a stubborn people. Remember and never forget how angry you made the Lord your God out in the wilderness from the day you left Egypt until now. You have been constantly rebelling against him. Even at Mount Sinai, you made the Lord so angry, he was ready to destroy you. This happened when I was on the mountain receiving the tablets of stone inscribed with the words of the covenant that the Lord has made with you. I was there for 40 days and 40 nights, and all that time I ate no food and drank no water. The Lord gave me the 2 tablets on which God had written with his own finger all the words he had spoken to you from the heart of the fire when you were assembled at the mountain. At the end of the 40 days and nights, the Lord handed me the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the words of the covenant. Then the Lord said to me, get up, go down immediately, for the people you brought out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. How quickly they have turned away from the way I commanded them to live. They have melted gold and made an idol for themselves. The Lord also said to me, I have seen how stubborn and rebellious these people are. Leave me alone so I may destroy them and erase their name from under heaven. Then I will make a mighty nation of your descendants, a nation larger and more powerful than they are. So while the mountain was blazing with fire, I turned and came down, holding in my hands the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. There below me I could see that you had sinned against the Lord your God. You had melted gold and made a calf idol for yourselves. How quickly you had turned away from the path the Lord had commanded you to follow. So I took the stone tablets and threw them to the ground, smashing them before your eyes. Then, as before, I threw myself down before the Lord. For 40 days and nights I ate no bread and drank no water because of the great sin you had committed by doing what the Lord hated, provoking him to anger. I feared that the furious anger of the Lord, which turn him against you would drive him to destroy you. But again he listened to me. The Lord was so angry with Aaron that he wanted to destroy him too. But I prayed for Aaron, and the Lord spared him. I took your sin, the calf you had made, and I melted it down in the fire and ground it into fine dust, and I threw the dust into the stream that flows down the mountain. You also made the Lord angry at Taberah, Massa, and Kibroth Hattava. And at Kadesh Barnea the Lord sent you out with this command: Go up and take over the land I have given you. But you rebelled against the command of the Lord your God and refused to put your trust in him or obey him. Yes, you have been rebelling against the Lord as long as I have known you. That is why I threw myself down before the Lord for 40 days and nights. For the Lord said he would destroy you. I prayed to the Lord and said, O sovereign Lord, do not destroy them. They are your own people. They are your special possession, whom you redeemed from Egypt by your mighty power and your strong hand. Please overlook the stubbornness and the awful sin of these people. And remember instead your servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you destroy these people, the Egyptians will say, the Israelites died because the Lord wasn't able to bring them to the land he had promised to give them. Or they might say, he destroyed them because he hated them. He deliberately took them into the wilderness to slaughter them. But they are your people and your special possession, whom you brought out of Egypt by your great strength and powerful arm. Hello there, warrior. Good to see you. At that time the Lord said to me, Chisel out 2 stones like the first ones. Also make a wooden ark, a sacred chest to store them in. Come up to me on the mountain, and I will write on the tablets the same words that were on the ones you smashed. Then place the tablets in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood and cut 2 stone tablets like the first 2. Then I went up the mountain with the tablets in my hand. Once again the Lord wrote the 10 commandments on the tablets and gave them to me. They were the same words the Lord had spoken to you from the heart of the fire on the day you were assembled at the foot of the mountain. Then I turned and came down the mountain and placed the tablets in the ark of the covenant, which I made, just as the Lord commanded me, and the tablets are still there in the ark. The people of Israel set out from the wells of the people of Jachan and traveled to Moserah, where Aaron died and was buried. His son Eleazar ministered as high priest in his place. Then they journeyed to Gudgodah, and from there to Jothbatha, a land with many brooks and streams. At that time the Lord set apart the tribe of Levi to carry the ark of the Lord's covenant and to stand before the Lord as his ministers, and to pronounce blessings in his names. These are their duties to this day. That is why the Levites have no share of property or possession of land among the other Israelite tribes. The Lord himself is their special possession, as the Lord your God told them. As for me, I stayed on the mountain in the Lord's presence for 40 days and nights, as I had done the first time. And once again the Lord listened to my pleas and agreed not to destroy you. Then the Lord said to me, Get up and resume the journey and lead the people to the land I swore to give their ancestors, so they may take possession of it. And now what does the Lord your God require of you? He requires only that you fear the Lord your God and live in a way that pleases him, and love him and serve him with all your heart and soul. And you must always obey the Lord's commands and decrees that I am giving you today for your own good. Look, the highest heavens and the earth and everything in it all belong to the Lord your God. Yet the Lord chose your ancestors as the object of his love. And he chose you, their descendants, above all other nations, as is evident today. Therefore, change your hearts and stop being stubborn. For the Lord your God is the God of gods and the Lord of lords. He is the great God, the mighty and awesome God, who shows no partiality and cannot be bribed. He ensures that orphans and widows receive justice. He shows love to the foreigners living among you and gives them food and clothing. So you, too, must show love to foreigners, for you yourselves were once foreigners in the land of Egypt. You must fear the Lord your God and worship him and cling to him. Your oaths must be in his name alone. He alone is your God, the only one who is worthy of your praise, the one who has done these mighty miracles that you have seen with your own eyes. When your ancestors went down into Egypt, there were only 70 of them, but now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars in the sky. You must love the Lord your God and always obey his requirements, decrees, regulations, and commands. Keep in mind that I am not talking now to your children who have never experienced the discipline of the Lord your God or seen his greatness and his strong hand and powerful arm. They didn't see the miraculous signs and wonders he performed in Egypt against Pharaoh and all his land. They didn't see what the Lord did to the armies of Egypt and to their horses and chariots, how he drowned them in the Red Sea as they were chasing you. He destroyed them, and they have not recovered to this very day. Your children didn't see how the Lord cared for you in the wilderness until you arrived here. They didn't see what he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, a descendant of Reuben, when the earth opened up its mouth in the Israelite camp and swallowed them, along with their households and tents and every living thing that belonged to them. But you have seen the Lord perform all these mighty deeds before your very own eyes. Therefore, be careful to obey every command I am giving you today, so that you may have strength to go in and take over the land you are about to enter. If you obey, you will enjoy a long life in the land the Lord swore to give to your ancestors and to you, their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land you are about to enter and take over is not like the land of Egypt from which you came, where you planted seed and made irrigation ditches with your foot, as in a vegetable garden. Rather, the land you will soon take over is a land of hills and valleys with plenty of rain, a land that the Lord your God cares for. He watches over it through each season of the year. If you carefully obey the commands I am giving you today, and if you love the Lord your God and serve him with all your heart and soul, then he will send the rains in their proper seasons, the early and late rains, so you can bring in your harvest of grain, new wine, and olive oil. He will give you lush pasture land for your livestock, and you yourselves will have all you want to eat. But be careful, don't let your hearts be deceived, so that you turn away from the Lord and serve and worship other gods. If you do, the Lord's anger will burn against you. He will shut up the sky and hold back the rain, and the ground will fail to produce its harvest. Then you will quickly die in that good land the Lord is giving you. So commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these words of mine. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road and when you are going to bed and when you are getting up. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, so that as long as the sky remains above the earth, you and your children may flourish in the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors. Be careful to obey all these commands I'm giving you. Show love to the Lord your God by walking in his ways and holding tightly to him. Then the Lord will drive out all the nations ahead of you, though they are much greater and stronger than you, and you will take over their land. Wherever you set foot, the land will be yours. Your frontiers will stretch from the wilderness in the south to the Lebanon in the north, and the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you, for the Lord your God will cause the people to fear and dread you, as he promised, wherever you go in the whole land. Look, today I'm giving you the choice between a blessing and a curse. You will be blessed if you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I'm giving you today. But you will be cursed if you reject the commands of the Lord your God and turn away from him and worship gods you have not known. When the Lord your God brings you into the land and helps you take possession of it, you must pronounce the blessings at Mount Gerizim and the curse at Mount Ebal. These two mountains are west of the Jordan River in the land of the Canaanites who live in the Jordan Valley, near the town of Gilgal, not far from the oaks of Moreh. For you are about to cross the Jordan River to take over the land the Lord your God is giving you. When you take the land and are living in it, you must be careful to obey all the decrees and regulations I am giving you today. All right, and now we're going to skip ahead. So we have places of worship, where it's supposed to be set up, warnings against idolatry, clean and unclean animals, giving of tithes, how to release debtors, how to release slaves that are your brothers or sisters or people that are fellow Israelites, sacrificing animals, the Passover festival, the festival of harvest, the festival of shelters, justice for people. If they ever want to set up a king, the guidelines for that, the gifts that they're supposed to give the priests and the Levites, the call to holy living, true and false prophets, cities of refuge, being concerned for justice, what to do about going to war, what to do if there's an unsolved mystery, marriage to women, the rights of the firstborn, dealing with a rebellious son, just a lot of other ones. Just and then rules for sexual purity and more regulations and decrees, talking about divorce. And where are we at here? Talking about going to court, harvest offerings and tithes. And where are we at here? 26, okay. How to obey God, the Mount Ebal, we just talked about that. Blessings and curses on the different altars. Okay, and finally, here we go. We're going to do the last part of today's reading. If you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully keep all of his commands that I am giving you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the world. You will experience all these blessings if you obey the Lord your God. Your towns and your fields will be blessed. Your children and your crops will be blessed. The offspring of your herds and flocks will be blessed. Your fruit baskets and breadboards will be blessed. Wherever you go and whatever you do, you will be blessed. The Lord will conquer your enemies when they attack you. They will attack you from one direction, but they will scatter from you in seven. The Lord will guarantee a blessing on everything you do and will fill your storehouses with grain. The Lord your God will bless you in the land he is giving you. If you obey the commands of the Lord your God and walk in his ways, the Lord will establish you as his holy people, as he swore he would do. Then all the nations of the world will see that you are a people claimed by the Lord, and they will stand in awe of you. The Lord will give you prosperity in the land he swore to your ancestors to give you, blessing you with many children, numerous livestock, and abundant crops. The Lord will send rain at the proper time from his rich treasury in the heavens, and will bless all the work you do. You will lend to many nations, but you will never need to borrow from them. If you listen to these commands of the Lord your God that I am giving you today, and if you carefully obey them, the Lord will make you the head and not the tail, and you will always be on top and never at the bottom. You must not turn away from any of the commands I am giving you today, nor follow after other gods and worship them. But if you refuse to listen to the Lord your God and do not obey all the commands and decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come and overwhelm you. Your towns and your fields will be cursed. Your fruit baskets and breadboards will be cursed. Your children and your crops will be cursed. The offspring of your herds and flocks will be cursed. Wherever you go and whatever you do, you will be cursed. The Lord himself will send on you curses, confusion, and frustration in everything you do, until at last you are completely destroyed for doing evil and abandoning me. The Lord will inflict you with diseases until none of you are left in the land you are about to enter and occupy. The Lord will strike you with wasting diseases, fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, and with blight and mildew. These disasters will pursue you until you die. The skies above will be as unyielding as bronze, and the earth beneath will be as hard as iron. The Lord will change the rain that falls onto your land into powder, and dust will pour down from the sky until you are destroyed. The Lord will cause you to be defeated by your enemies. You will attack your enemies from one direction, but you will scatter from them in seven. You will be an object of horror to all the kingdoms of the earth. Your corpses will be food for all the scavenging birds and wild animals, and no one will be there to chase them away. The Lord will afflict you with the boils of Egypt, and with the tumors, scurvy, and the itch from which you cannot be cured. The Lord will strike you with madness, blindness, and panic. You will grope around in broad daylight like a blind person groping in the darkness, but you will not find your way. You will be oppressed and robbed continually, and no one will come to save you. You will be engaged to a woman, but another man will sleep with her. You will build a house, but someone else will live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but you will never enjoy its fruit. Your ox will be butchered before your eyes, but you will not eat a single bite of the meat. Your donkey will be taken from you and never to be returned. Your sheep and goats will be given to your enemies, and no one will be there to help you. You will watch as your sons and daughters are taken away as slaves. Your heart will break for them, but you won't be able to help them. A foreign nation you have never heard about will eat the crops you work so hard to grow. You will suffer under constant oppression and harsh treatment. You will go mad because of all the tragedy you see around you. The Lord will cover your knees and legs with incurable boils. In fact, you will be covered from head to foot. The Lord will exile you and your king to a nation unknown to you and your ancestors. There, in exile, you will worship gods of wood and stone. You will become an object of horror, ridicule, and mockery among all the nations to which the Lord sends you. You will plant much but harvest little, for locusts will eat your crops. You will plant vineyards and care for them, but you will not drink the wine or eat the grapes, for worms will destroy the vines. You will grow olive trees throughout your land, but you will never use the olive oil, for the fruit will drop before it ripens. You will have sons and daughters, but you will lose them, for they will be led away into captivity. Swarms of insects will destroy your trees and crops. The foreigners living among you will become stronger and stronger while you become weaker and weaker. They will lend money to you, but you will not lend to them. They will be the head, and you will be the tail. If you refuse to listen to the Lord your God and to obey the commands and decrees he has given you, all these curses will pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed. These horrors will serve as a sign and a warning among you and your descendants forever. If you do not serve the Lord your God with joy and enthusiasm for the abundant benefits you have received, you will serve your enemies whom the Lord will send against you. You will be left hungry, thirsty, naked, and lacking in everything. The Lord will put an iron yoke on your neck, oppressing you harshly until he has destroyed you. The Lord will bring a distant nation against you from the end of the earth, and it will swoop down on you like a vulture. It is a nation whose language you do not understand, a fierce and heartless nation that shows no respect for the old and no pity for the young. Its armies will devour your livestock and crops, and you will be destroyed. They will leave you no grain, new wine, olive oil, calves, or lambs, and you will starve to death. They will attack your cities until all the fortified walls in your land, the walls you trusted to protect you, are knocked down. They will attack all the towns in the land the Lord your God has given you. The siege and terrible distress of the enemy's attack will be so severe that you will eat the flesh of your own sons and daughters whom the Lord your God has given you. The most tender-hearted man among you will have no compassion for his own brother, his beloved wife, and his surviving children. He will refuse to share with them the flesh he is devouring, the flesh of one of his own children, because he has nothing else to eat during the siege and terrible distress that your enemy will inflict on all your towns. The most tender and delicate woman among you, so delicate she would not so much as touch the ground with her foot, will be selfish toward the husband she loves and towards her own son or daughter. She will hide from them the afterbirth and the new baby she has born, so that she herself can secretly eat them. She will have nothing else to eat during the siege and terrible distress that your enemy will inflict on all your towns. If you refuse to obey all the words of instruction that are written in this book, and if you do not fear the glorious and awesome name of the Lord your God, then the Lord will overwhelm you and your children with these indescribable plagues. These plagues will be intense and without relief, making you miserable and unbearably sick. He will afflict you with all the diseases of Egypt that you feared so much. You will have no relief. The Lord will afflict you with every sickness and plague there is, even those not mentioned in this book of instruction, until you are destroyed. Though you became as numerous as the stars in the sky, few of you will be left because you would not listen to the Lord your God. Just as the Lord has found great pleasure in causing you to prosper and multiply, the Lord will find pleasure in destroying you. You will be torn from the land you are about to enter and occupy, for the Lord will scatter you among all the nations from one end of the earth to the other. There you will worship foreign gods that neither you nor your ancestors have known, gods made of wood and stone. There, among the nations, you will find no peace or place to rest, and the Lord will cause your heart to tremble, your eyesight to fail, and your soul to despair. Your life will constantly hang in the balance. You will live night and day in fear, unsure if you will survive. In the morning you will say, "If only it were night." And in the evening you will say, "If only it were morning." for you will be terrified by the awful horrors you see around you. Then the Lord will send you back to Egypt in ships, to a destination I promised you would never see again. There you will offer to sell yourselves to your enemies as slaves, but no one will buy you. Okay. Whew. Don't take your donkey, huh? I think that's a reference. All right, so Moses is going over all the rules and requirements. He's going over what happened. The promise is that God's offered them, the blessings he's offering them, and then we read these curses. What will happen if they don't obey the rules and regulations that God has set up? And what does God want? He wants them to worship him, trust him, obey him. That's it. Sounds simple, right? It's not simple. It is not simple. But he wants them to know him, to love him, to worship him, to not become like the other nations. He has set them apart. That's what holy means, is to be set apart. He has set them apart to be holy, to have a certain way about them so that others would look to them as a light and an example. And he's saying, when you do it right, everything's going to be blessed, and when you do it wrong, you're going to find these curses. And man, it sounds awful. It sounds awful. But sometimes our life is just the same. If we worship other gods, if we're led astray to worship other gods, they talk about wood and stone, but whatever becomes the idol in our life, the problem with an idol is it just doesn't provide what we need. It doesn't provide what we need in life. It doesn't rescue us. It doesn't save us. It might temporarily fulfill a little bit of longing we have in ourselves, but it doesn't do what we want in the long run. And it's very short-term thinking a lot of times. And so you could say, well, we don't set up wood statues or things like that anymore. Trust me, there's so many idols in today's world. So many idols today's world. Just as many as before. They've never stopped being created and thought of. Sometimes your phone can be an idol. Like, you might play a game for a long time on there, or just scroll on. You might doom scroll on TikTok or Instagram Reels, and you get that dopamine hit, and it temporarily might make you feel good, or maybe it makes you feel all kinds of things, depending on what you look at. But it can't provide you with life to just watch that. You might think poker is life-giving. It's not. You might think that eating food is life-giving. I mean, it helps sustain us, but it's not enough. They're all temporary things. And this is about something way beyond the temporary things. So don't just brush it off as, oh, we don't do that. Oh, we do it. We live in a society full of idols. things that we can worship: politics, money, sex, drugs, alcohol, affirmation, popularity, clothing. I mean, man, it all plays against us. So to see beyond those things and to not make that the focus of your heart and your mind is a real challenge. It's a real challenge. It's a challenge for me. It's a challenge for anyone. So be blessed by not making that the focus. Be blessed by not making that the focus. Because those things don't provide life for us. Okay, that's tough. It's tough to hear. But I mean, Moses is just so passionate about this matter, and he's about to pass on. And he sees, as it stated, God chose these people not because of how good they were at doing this. In fact, Moses has seen it firsthand how rebellious and stubborn they are. And man, people are just rebellious and stubborn by nature. Stallion is not for sale. But he's driving out the nations before them because of their wickedness. So it's a choice between being wicked, or it's a choice between being obedient. So we choose. We choose which direction we want to be. We can complain and whatever else and get quails to eat until we're sick of it, or we can stay on the track of being positive and speaking blessings and receiving blessings by being obedient. So let's choose. It's the choice set before us. All right. Hello there, Sean Solo the rapper. Hello there, Wicked. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Welcome everyone else who's been hanging. I appreciate you guys being here. Dear brethrens and brotherettes. I like that. I hope you are well today. Somebody is blessed when I quail, right? So you have to think of it as that way. Somebody is blessed when I quail. Not just the person that wins, but Wicked is also blessed. So, anyways, good to see you all. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If there's anything else you guys want to yap about on this, let me know. We will finish the book of Deuteronomy on Sunday morning. That'll be our next Bible story stream. Moses will pass away, and our new leader will come. And the new leader was already talked about in the last book. But Joshua's going to become the new leader. Well, we don't have a Bible story stream on Friday. We're just going through the stories. I thought about doing some special ones, but we're just gonna keep doing. We're gonna just keep on trekking. We're on this trek of the stories, and wherever we land, we land. It's okay. I didn't plan this in advance to try to get to these things, but for those that care, today is in some of the Christian circles. Today is known as either Maundy Thursday, Holy Thursday, This is the night that the Passover was celebrated. If when we celebrate Easter, so Easter is coming up on Sunday. So this was the night of the Last Supper. For those that know any of that story, in Jesus' time and the celebration of the Passover. So we've just heard about these festivals to celebrate the Passover year after year as a reminder of what took place to bring the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt. And it took a lot of miracles. It took a lot of it because, just like I said before, people are rebellious and stubborn, and Pharaoh was a great example of being stubborn till the end. So, as you heard today, put down your stubbornness, put it down, and pick up your willingness to listen to God and obey. Listen today and obey. You're a Taurus, and I need to hear this so much. Okay. Traditionally, do people eat a big feast on Holy Thursday and then fast all day on Good Friday? So some people will fast on Good Friday. To call it Good Friday, it's kind of a weird thing. It's not really a good day if you think about it. I mean, it is a good day and it's a terrible day all at the same time, right? So is it a blessing? Is it a curse? The weight of all of the stubbornness, rebelliousness, sinfulness of people had to be dealt with, and it was dealt with very brutally. Any day without food is a bad day in my book. I don't know. I'm not sure that, like, historically there was necessarily fasting. Obviously there was not fasting. There's not really fasting from the Jewish people over this. Over this specific day. This was a celebration. The Passover was a celebration. But in Christian circles, and again, I don't know all of it, but in the Catholic traditions, I don't know when this tradition started. It was not in the very early part of the church by any means, but they started fasting meat during Fridays of what they call Lent, and Lent is the seasons from Ash Wednesday until Easter, and they started not eating meat on Fridays. So to some extent, they started fasting that process. It's still a tradition that most Catholics still honor right now. But to totally fast, not necessarily in this season. Some of the festivals, there were fast around them, but most of the festivals were supposed to be celebrations and gatherings, and so there were mostly eating, drinking, parties. Like they're gathering together. There was actually a coming together. They were all coming together to one place to gather and do these things. So not so much around this one, I don't think. Fasting is a very good thing to do. Put down your stubbornness and let him take control starting Good Friday. Okay. So you got one day left, you're saying? Forget Holy Thursday, you know. Anyways, that's a little bit about what's actually happening in the Christian calendar currently. Is the celebration of Easter is coming Sunday. Yes, Wicked, I get that. Carpe diem. Oh my. Okay. Anyways, uh, no, it's good. It's good. It's good to ask questions. So, we're gonna finish and turn the page on Moses on Sunday, and I'm sure we'll talk just briefly about Easter a little bit. What's Deuteronomy? So that is the book of the Bible that we're in. So we started at the beginning of the Bible, and we're working through the stories in the Bible. We're skipping over things that are not stories. Like I skipped over. We read 4 chapters today, but that's 20 chapters of listing. So we skipped over 16 chapters of rules and regulation regurgitation. Again, not bad material by any means, just not stories, right? It's basically like a law book. And if you want to read a law book and read the rules and regulations and laws that are required for the people of Israel, you can read the book of Leviticus and the book of Deuteronomy. They go over these things twice because they're talking to 2 different people groups, 2 different generations, but it's a reminder. Oh, Wicked's off from work, so it's a blessed day for him. He's going to have a blessed day. Oh, you're off to work. He's not off of work. I read that wrong. Have a great day there, Wicked. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day working. It's good to work. It would be more blessed to be off. That would be great. He has to work. And work, if we read the first story, work is not necessarily a blessing or a curse, but some of the way we have to do work is part of the original curse of disobedience. And so hopefully one day we get back to the days where we don't have to, but we're not there. We're still in the journey, and work has its function and place in our lives to help us. So enjoy your day of work. Enjoy being fruitful in your day and helping others and everything else you do there. And yeah, so thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your commentaries and everything else. I hope you guys have picked up something from this reading. Like I have, I always try to turn the mirror on myself, but just to remember to listen and obey, and to not just fall for all the blinking lights and the things that offer us what looks like good, hopeful things, but really just can't offer it. They cannot offer life. Our kitchen can't offer life. Man, I go to that pantry sometimes when I really want, when I just want something to offer comfort. But it is not truly offering comfort. It offers a temporary release versus what I truly need is the comforter, which is God. So often I pick like a bowl of ice cream over God. It's true. I wish it wasn't true, but it is what it is. So I still have work to do in my life. Taking the day off and getting your hair done. Let's go. Man, it doesn't take long to get my hair done, fortunately. It's been a while since it took a while to get it done. Which is fine. Anyways. Good luck with that. Enjoy your day, Asibla. Enjoy your day, Sean Solo, Wicked. Hiles, if you stayed awake, enjoy your day. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. And Warrior, if you're still hanging out, hi. I will see you guys all on Sunday, on Easter morning. Enjoy these few days of just thinking about the blessings and the curses. It's a good thing to think about as we go through this Easter season. So, all right. Bye, y'all.